Okay, we are live with yet another episode of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. And we will be starting this in just a few moments here. Just let me go ahead and get everything ready real quick and we will get started. Okay, now that everything is all set and ready to go, let's go ahead and get this video underway. Good evening, everybody. This is Xenonite XC6 here, and welcome back to my Let's Play of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. This is part number 44 of this Let's Play series. And so in the last episode, we went through the trial with Mr. Miles Edgeworth, and we've had a surprise return from Miss Francisca Von Karma, who is the prosecutor for the trial. And there are a bit of mysteries during this trial that are yet to be answered, where we've talked with both Miss Bikini and Larry Butts, who goes by Laurie Stiaxium. So it looks like basically we've got a bit of information about that, including a drawing that Larry made that replicates someone flying over the fire. I don't know what sort of mysteries are still yet to be revealed, but however, there might be something that maybe we have not seen yet. So in this episode, we are going to be doing another round of the investigation. I don't know if this is the last investigation before we go to the trial. I'm not quite sure, because I don't know how long this episode 5 out of the other final episodes we have are going to go for. So we'll see about that. But like I said, in today's episode, we are going to be doing another round of investigating. We're going to hopefully try to find some more evidence, and also still figure out if we are able to hopefully reunite with Maya and Pearls. So let's go ahead and get this episode underway. February 9th, 3:43 a.m., Hottie Clinic Intensive Care Unit. Oh, so this is where Phoenix... Oh, it's showing the same thing again. Wait, is this where Phoenix was in the last episode too? Because if I remember in episode 4, he was sitting on this bed and there was this thing over there. Okay, so I guess this is where everything left off from there.
I'm still up at this hour reading through the trial record of a certain case. It's the first case my mentor, Mia Fey, had even handled in a court of law. The horrifying truth that I refuse to accept is holding me hostage here within its pages. Vidalia Hardthorn. What I have read, I don't want to believe. What is written here? This isn't Vidalia I knew. After falling into Eagle River, I was somehow miraculously saved. But I ended up catching a cold that seemed to knock me around the world and back. I feel dizzy. My ears are ringing. My throat burns. And my head is on fire. But I will recover. I have to recover by this afternoon. I have to meet with the most ill-tempered witness imaginable. But I know that he will be able to help me with him. Somehow.
February 9th, 2:43 p.m., Dusky Bridge.
Right. Are you sure you're well enough to be doing this? You still look a little green in the face.
Or maybe Viridian, in artist speak. Actually, my fever has gone down quite a bit. How's your temperature now? Only 102.2 degrees. Nothing to worry about. Anyway, I read today's trial's record. You weren't bad, Edgeworth. Pretty impressive despite the circumstances.
We're not in the clear yet. The main point of contention tomorrow is going to be the murder weapon.
Yeah.
In the end, the Shishi Cheeto did not deliver the deadly blow, which means there must be another sword hiding out there that we don't know about.
Another sword, huh?
Don't you worry about a thing, pal. I'll take up the murder weapon myself, or I'll eat my coat. Thanks again, Edgeworth. I'll handle things from here.
That is probably for the best. Actually, I was thinking about paying the old precinct a little visit. There's something I want to look into.
And that is?
Our client's background. Naturally.
You mean Iris, sir?
I have the feeling that we've met before. All I want is confirmation, one way or the other. And since I probably won't be getting that from you...
I'm sorry, Edgeworth.
I bid you adieu, Wright. Take care.
Guess I should get moving too. Why? Do you need to be somewhere? Yeah, I've got to get to work on this bridge, pal. I'm rigging something up so we can get across to the other side.
That's right. Maya's still stuck over at the Inner Temple.
But don't you worry, pal. As soon as it's all set, you'll be the first to know. Thank you, Gumshoe.
Oh, he's coughing badly.
No problem, pal. Just try not to give me that cough of yours, okay? Alright, I'm off.
Hang in there, Maya. We'll get you out, I promise. But in the meantime, I've got to continue collecting evidence.
There's a narrow path going off in a different direction than that of the main hall. Looks like someone's taking the effort to write to Heavenly Hall on the signpost. That thing looks like it's ready to collapse, at least more than it did before. According to Bikini, Eagle Mountain is very prone to earthquakes, which reminds me, if my memory serves me correctly, Edgeworth isn't exactly a fan of earthquakes. It looks like it's about 20 yards to that cliff over there, but I can't see the Inner Temple from here. I really hope Maya's okay. Now it really is more of a dusty bridge than a dusky bridge. That kidnapping incident happened here 11 years ago, so maybe it's cursed too. Hazakura Temple doesn't have a single private phone line, and there aren't any houses in the area, so I guess Bikini is the only one who uses this. I really wish I had brought my cell phone with me.
Okay, I guess we gotta go to... Let's first go to Heavenly Hall and see exactly what's going on there. February 9th, Heavenly Hall. Looks like no one's here.
Larry! Laurice!
I was sure you'd be hiding here. Guess I'll try again later.
That stuff is really ruining the beautiful atmosphere around here. It's so inappropriate. Like Sister Bikini in a bikini. I've got to think of the kittens. That's Dusky Bridge up there. It's amazing how clearly you can see it from so far away. Larry supposedly saw everything through the shack's window. Not much light gets down here, so it must be pitch black at night. But this area was probably illuminated that night because of the burning bridge above. The snow is really piled up on the straw roof. It's otherworldly, like something out of a fairy tale. Well, the roof part anyway. The sign says Heavenly Hall. I guess it's pretty fitting. If you spent a night in this little freezing shack, you'd probably find yourself at the pearly gates by morning. Look at this graffiti. Scrawled right on the front of the shack. At least he managed to get a pretty good likeness. When I really think about it, I guess art kind of suits him. I mean, his very existence is an art. Of sorts. These steps lead up to the foot of Dusky Bridge. Coming down is a cinch, but going back up doesn't look like a walk in the park. I'm starting to understand why rivers always want to flow downstream, not up. This is the famous Eagle River. I got to try out its rough rapids the other night. They say it has a really strong current, and they weren't kidding. It's both powerful and fast-flowing. I was dead lucky. I mean, lucky not to be dead.
Okay, so it looks like we're not going to find anything interesting around here. So I guess the only place we can go to right now is the main gate. February 9th, Hasakura Temple, main gate. Come on, please, it's for art's sake, I swear. Oh, I think I know who this is. There's only one guy I know who could be this persistent and high-strung. I'm talking about the heroine here. The heroine in my book. I'll make you famous. Enough! A fool's fools who foolishly accepts the foolishness of a fool's fool. Wouldn't you agree? Phoenix Wright?
Huh? Me? Wait a second. I know you. You're a... Ow!
Your reflexes and mine need to shape up. My brain's frying like a sunny side up, and you want to grill me over a name?
Francie! You can't do that! Even as we speak, Nick's on the brink of death. Or so I'm told.
Whip a dead horse. Isn't that one of your American sayings?
No, it's not. And I'm not on the brink of anything.
Come on, Nick. Tell her, would you? Tell her she needs to model for my new picture book. Francie's Whippity-Whip Trip.
Before you ask me to model, learn to give at least semi-coherent testimony.
And before that, you'll have to learn how to live a semi-coherent life, Larry. Man, they both roast him.
I don't care what anyone says. I'm telling the truth. I saw what I saw. She flew, I'm telling you. Whoosh! Just like that dude with the red underwear. Don't think I'm gonna forgive you guys when you come crawling back to apologize.
Off he goes. It's amazing how little has changed with you in the past year, Phoenix Wright.
Have you been in Germany all this time?
That's right. Extending my perfect win record, naturally.
Oh, joy. Sounds like she hasn't changed a bit.
Has it really been a year since we first met? I am Franziska von Karma, the prodigy.
I see.
I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Franziska was born and raised in Germany and became a prosecutor at the age of 13. Her father was the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma. He had a perfect win record for 40 long years, but now he is gone from this world.
Don't tell me you still hold a grudge against me. Because of what happened to your father.
Phoenix Wright, you will fall before me. This I promise. But it will be for my sake, not my father's. Are we clear?
Yes, crystal.
In truth, I was shocked. I came back to America with the intention of defeating you. Instead, it was my little brother who was leading the defense. Edgeworth, come to think of it, Edgeworth was pulled into being a prosecutor by Manford von Karma as well. Miles Edgeworth told me something very interesting, you know. He said this case has a special significance to you.
Because it does.
And that's precisely why I am here. Your personal involvement will make crushing you into teensy-wincy pieces all the better. It's probably the fever, but she's so openly hostile that it's almost kind of cute. Ow! No smirking. No whipping the sick. The foolish fool doing such a foolish favor for such a foolishly foolish fool. Edgeworth, make no mistake, Phoenix Wright. I came here for one thing, and one thing only. To pulverize you.
It's not like I thought you were here to bring me some cold killer X, you know.
I went over the whole case file on the flight over.
You read the whole thing?
Yes. Every last word of every last sentence of every last paragraph. All the ridiculous things you did made it a very interesting read, you know. Attempting to cross a burning bridge. Did you even consider the dangers?
No. The only thought in my mind was, I have to get across.
A fool who doesn't think is more foolish than a fool who foolishly thinks. Gumshoe said he'd let me know once the bridge was repaired. Maya, she's got to be okay, I just know it. Plus, I need to ask her about what really happened at the Inner Temple that night. Trying to see if she knows anything, basically.
Nope.
I'm not sure if she's gonna talk or anything about this. Might be best to wait and see what happens.
I'd love to know what that thing was used for on the night of the crime.
Ha! Still thinking small, I see. Phoenix Wright. Or perhaps not at all. That's why you will never defeat me.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but I don't recall ever losing to you.
It's time for us to settle this once for all with one final showdown. Looks like she mentally blocked out my victories over her from her memory. Yeah, she's ready for her revenge after losing the last trial back on episode 3 during this trial that happened in the circus.
It's a quiet little bell tower. I never would have thought that something this horrible was about to happen when Iris rang the lights out bell that night. This is one impressive gate.
Compared to the grandeur of the main gate at the Von Karma estate, it's but a pet door.
It looks really idyllic with all that snow on it, don't you think?
All that snow? Don't make me laugh. This is but a light dusting where I come from.
Don't make things up just because you think I'll never get to see it for myself. You can see the main hall from here.
I wonder how the head nun is holding up.
Oh, wow. Is that an inkling of human kindness I sense?
Ow! Do you enjoy causing other people pain with that sharp tongue of yours? It's nothing compared to the pain you cause with that leathery whip of yours. I gotta say, I do miss how Francisco whipped everybody with her whip. Okay, I'm not sure if there's anything that we can show her, basically, that can help us with this case. But I guess for now, we'll just wait and see till we get to somewhere else. So we might talk to her again later. February 9th, Hasakura Temple, Main Hall. That was one long sigh.
Sister Bikini?
My. I didn't know you were here. How are you doing?
You don't have to pretend to be in a good mood for my sake.
I suppose I've made a terrible mess of things, haven't I? I let Mystic Elise die, and then there's Iris as well. Mystic Elise? Now that I think about it, there's an occultist stuck at the inner temple. And that poor little girl has gone missing too.
That little girl? You don't mean Pearls, do you?
Yes, I'm afraid I do. She hasn't been seen since the morning after the incident.
Pearls? She's missing?
Why didn't anyone tell me about this? Oh, Phoenix doesn't even know Pearls is gone. Oh, jeez. I must be getting old. I think I've seriously lost faith in myself.
Are you talking about your performance at the trial today?
You believe me, don't you? I'm not a liar. I would never lie. I know what I saw. I saw Iris pull that sword from Mystic Elise's body that night. I'm certain of it. At least, I was until this morning. I don't see any psyche locks, so she must be telling the truth.
So why are you so unsure of yourself all of a sudden?
You know that artist who testified after me.
I saw Iris flying, her white hood fluttering. I feel like I might start flying myself.
When I saw that man testify so fervently about something so impossible, I started to wonder if I had acted just like him when I was on the witness stand.
I wouldn't take that guy too seriously. He's an artist, but all he draws is trouble, and nothing else.
If both Bikini and Larry are telling the truth, that can only mean one thing. They both didn't see what they think they saw.
On the night of the incident, you met Iris at the Inner Temple. Is that correct?
That's right. I'm sure it was Iris. But Iris claims she was in her room in Hazakura Temple. I knew I shouldn't have come back here that night.
But because you did, Maya's stuck all by herself at the Inner Temple.
I'm so sorry. Drafts in that place are nothing to shake a stick at. Winter is especially bad. I'll bet the training hall looks like it's about to fall down any second. Eagle Mountain has always been prone to earthquakes, just so you know.
Earthquakes?
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if the next big one levels the training hall. We've got to get Maya out of there fast. But still, there's really no need to worry. That area on the other side of Dusky Bridge is isolated like an island.
It's like an island? How so?
Well, the only thing on that side of the bridge is the Inner Temple. No one lives out there, and it's surrounded on all sides by the river or the forest.
I see.
So a criminal would be trapped should they choose to flee in that direction. And as long as the bridge is out of commission, he or she will have to stay there.
That means Maya could be stuck out there with a murderer, and with no way of escape either.
Oh dear. Yes, I suppose it does. Please, Gumshoe, get that bridge up faster!
I'm curious about a few things, if you don't mind answering some questions.
Oh? Do you need to know my measurements for your investigation or something?
No. I want to know a little more about the victim, Miss Elise Diaxiom.
I'm afraid I don't know her waist size. Or her bust size, for that matter. I don't think that's what he's asking, Miss Bikini. I don't think that's what Phoenix was asking.
No. I'm wondering why she came to stay in a place like this to begin with. I mean, she told us herself that she wasn't here for spiritual training.
My. You make it sound like this place has gone... You make it sound like this place is some sort of dump, Mr. Wright. Mystic Elise was here to soak up the natural beauty of Eagle Mountain, if you must know.
There. You did it again, Sister Bikini. I notice you always refer to Miss Diaxiom as Mystic Elise.
Oh!
Yes. Now why is that? After all, she's not here as an occultity.
I have a feeling there's going to be some psyche locks. We address all our visitors as mystic. It makes our experience feel authentic. And anyway, she's older than me. You must respect your elders, you know.
How do you know that? How can you say for sure that she's older than you?
I knew it! And there are 5. So Miss Bikini is hiding something, so her and Elise might actually have known each other than just what Miss Bikini was addressing. It seems Miss Elise Yaxian was no ordinary visitor after all. And there's Pearls. She was with Miss Yaxian on the evening of the murder, and now she's vanished. What if Miss Bikini is hiding something? What if she actually knows where Pearls is? And what if she might have some involvement with Miss Yaxian's death? I mean, it could be possible. But then again, we still have Iris, also known as what Phoenix and Edgeworth might be thinking as Dahlia Hartthorn. So it's all got to be connected somehow.
Why did Pearls have to get mixed up in this mess?
Please, Mr. Wright. I know you're worried, but try to keep it together. Oh, man. My head's throbbing so bad it's killing me.
Pearls. She was with Miss Yaxian on the night of the murder, remember?
Yes, but I have a temple to run, you know. I was busy preparing for the training. I didn't see the little darling even once after we finished eating dinner. The murder. It didn't take place right in front of her innocent eyes, did it? According to the detective, she hasn't turned up at her home either. Come on, keep calm. There's one place left where Pearls could be. She just has to be there. Come on, Gumshoe. Tell me you'll be done with the repair soon.
I've only seen a layout like this when I saw this really old Japanese movie on TV. Wow, this hibachi brazier really puts out a lot of heat. Just thinking about how happy we were sitting here eating pot roast and gravy. I bet the writing on these sliding doors are instructions for spirit channeling. Kind of like how we scribbled math formulas on the bathroom walls to remember them. Except we couldn't go to the bathroom during the test, and I can't read these walls. It's a stack of straw zabuton cushions. Maya told me this type of zabuton is called enza. I suppose if I'd never come here, I'd have missed out on all these new things. It's an altar. It looks a bit old, but someone does a good job taking care of it. Speaking of altars, I remember seeing one like this in Korean Village last year. I guess they really do have something to do with spiritual power after all. There's a laughably large Magatama on the altar. If I can see Psyche locks with the tiny Magatama I've got, I can only imagine what kind of power this bad boy has under his hood.
Okay, we still gotta get at least a bit of evidence before we can get any further with this. February 9th, Hazakura Temple Courtyard. This is where Sister Bikini witnessed the incident. It's hard to imagine she was lying on the stand, so maybe there are some clues that have yet to be found.
The main gate's on the other side of the stone wall. The difference in elevation is almost 10 feet. That's how steep this hillside is. And that's also the height the body fell from, according to the autopsy. Is it possible that Miss Yaxian was pushed from the top of the wall? That building up there is the main hall. It was where we were staying. It sits kind of funny because it was built on a very steep slope. If you enter from the main gate side, these rooms above me are on the ground floor. Apparently Miss Yaxian was staying in the corner room. I guess that's where she was pushed from that night. They got quite a bit of snow up here on Eagle Mountain. Around here, skis aren't just for fun. They're tools for getting around. But the sled? Now that's gotta be for Bikini's own personal entertainment. There are a few of these stone lanterns scattered around in this courtyard. Without the city glare to compete with, I imagine they would seem a lot brighter. I guess Sister Bikini must light them now, since Iris can't be here. Misty Axiom's staff. I definitely remember there being a crystal sphere attached to the staff. I guess Larry eventually found the sphere near the foot of Dusky Bridge, but what was it doing all the way out there? Bashishito. It's there in Mystic Amy's right hand, but it was proven in court today that it wasn't the murder weapon. Given the design, it must have been used for some pretty gruesome things in the past.
There doesn't seem to be anything we can use here. Oh my goodness! As soon as I got back inside, something happened. What's going on? Hey! What was that jarring and considerably loud yell?
Something's where you've been. Keeping nice and warm, I see. Detective, have you finished repairing the bridge? Yeah, I did. I told you I'll let you know.
Well. Then I'll come along with you and...
Sorry, ma'am. No unauthorized entry. Access is restricted to people involved in the case.
What was that? I'm involved, aren't I? You couldn't get much more involved than me.
Well, yeah, but that's not what I mean. Ah!
It's been a while, Scruffy.
It's Miss Von Karma!
Sister, please leave the investigation to me. My. Well, you certainly seem to have everything under control. I am on your side. I won't do anything you don't want me to. As you work to pin the guilt on Iris. What are you daydreaming about, Phoenix Wright? Ow! That hurts, you know! Silence! I, Francesca Von Karma, will personally guide you through your investigation. So you will follow me. She's not seriously going to follow me around, is she? I think she is. Wait, what happens if we examine something while she's there? Let me see. Oh, wait. Nothing happens? Hold up. Oh, man. I really want to kind of see what happens. Oh, man. What is something funny to happen? Dang. Alright. Well, I guess we can go to the inner temple now. So let's head there. February 9th, Inner Temple Gate.
Things have certainly become a lot more hectic than before.
They must have commenced with the investigation. Oh, Mr. Nick. Is that Pearls? That voice. It is! Pearls! Mr. Nick! Mr. Nick!
So you were here ever since that night?
I was so lonely. I thought it was going to die. When I woke up in the morning and saw that Dusky Bridge was gone, I realized I was all alone.
She was all alone? It must have been very trying for you, little girl.
You're...
I am Francisca Von Karma, the prodigy. There's no need to worry now that I'm here.
You're the prosecutor who was so mean to Mystic Maya last year.
Well...
I don't like you. You're nothing but a little girl without your whip. Mystic Maya didn't do anything wrong, but you were so mean. I'll never forgive you.
It looks like Pearl's words are getting under her skin.
Yow! Why are you whipping me? I didn't even say anything.
You didn't have to. The smile on your lips gave you away.
Anyway, Pearls, weren't you with Maya?
I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
Huh? What are you talking about, Pearls?
Missing Maya.
Hey, wait, Pearls!
She just ran off.
Ow!
That was cruel, Phoenix Wright. To make a little girl cry like that is inexcusable. What was that all about? Pearl's acting like that. It's giving me the creeps. I guess I better take another look around since I finally got a chance. Especially since something about this place seems different from 2 days ago. Seems to be the case. Alright, at least Pearls is safe. So we now know that Pearls is safe. The only question is what happened to Maya? That's the only thing we still need to figure out. Phoenix Wright.
What? And would you stop calling me by my full name like that?
Was this once a prosperous port?
A port?
Yes. That metal hook is a mooring post for boats, you know.
Oh, that's an anchor for one of the wires that is used to hold up the bridge. I think the wire that was tied to this one probably snapped when the bridge burned down.
I mean, there's no way there was ever a port all the way up here. Don't get smart with me, Phoenix Wright.
But he didn't say anything.
She can read your mind, you know.
You can see Dusky Bridge from here. It's an unusually long bridge, isn't it?
I would say it's about 20 yards.
I guess the gorge is too wide to cross with a piece of rope or wire, huh?
Therefore, no one has crossed the gorge in either direction since the night of the murder. A simple yet sound deduction, wouldn't you say, Phoenix Wright?
Look at all the Buddha statues lined up along this path.
Phoenix Wright, do you think this is how many siblings the head nun has?
Why don't you ask her the next time you see her?
You know what? I think I will. And she'll probably slap you for prying into her private affairs. My goodness. There's a weird smell coming from that incinerator. The door is also open, almost like it's begging me to look inside.
Well. Let's see what stunning clue is concealed in here, shall we? Huh? It's empty.
How naive of you, Phoenix Wright.
But it's a bit strange, don't you think? Franziska von Karma?
I seem to remember. Yeah, it was closed. There was snow on this incinerator the first time I saw it. But now it's gone. In other words, someone's been using it to burn something recently. Listen, Phoenix Wright. It's impertinent to call people by their full name.
I was only copying you.
Man, oh man.
The sign says Inner Temple.
I don't know how you're reading it, but it's incomprehensible to me.
Actually, I can't read it either.
Being comprehensive isn't a very good habit to have, Phoenix Wright. She looks really happy to have finally caught me on something. This must be the door that leads to the Inner Temple, where Maya Fey was training on the night of the murder.
Yes, there's a solitary room there called the training hall.
You could do with some training yourself, Phoenix Wright.
Yo!
You're completely out of shape. I don't know how much more of this woman I can take. She is whipping Phoenix so many times.
There's a little gate that leads into the garden. It says no entry on the sign, though.
Come now, Phoenix Wright. What are you doing? Let's go in. It's half open anyway. What harm could come of it?
But it says no entry.
Don't you Americans enjoy doing whatever you like and then simply say whatever?
That's got nothing to do with anything.
And who told you that? Oh, something happened here. And there's a lock. February 9th, Inner Temple Training Hall. What's wrong? Why are you so quiet?
Maya, she was supposed to be in here training.
Yet it appears she's nowhere to be seen. What's that? That strange lock. It wasn't there 2 days ago. This whole room is really giving off some strange vibes.
It's an antique dresser.
Don't you dare open it, Phoenix Wright. Now I know how Maya feels when I tell her not to touch things. What a pity. It's full of nothing but old clothes for the occult.
I thought we weren't opening it.
I'm from the prosecutor's office. I can do anything. Yeah, you can do anything, except stand up to a 9-year-old girl. Oh!
Look at those wafer-thin mattresses.
I'm sorry, Phoenix Wright. Wafer thin?
Yeah, thin like a wafer. In other words, uncomfortable. That's how we describe things like these mattresses. I guess you must say wafer thick or something back in Germany.
Not about these mattresses. Certainly not. What do you think this yellowish poster is, Phoenix Wright?
It's a scroll, not a poster. It's a picture of a woman who's actually...
A woman? I don't see any woman here. There's a different atmosphere in this room since the last time I was here. No, it's not a different atmosphere. It's a different smell.
It's gravy.
What's the matter?
The scroll. It's been completely covered in gravy.
Ah, yes, there is a very appetizing smell in the air. But gravy is a type of sauce. So when you run out of paint, you Americans use gravy as a substitute, I see.
No, no one does that. For starters, it stinks.
This must be the gravy that we had with the roast on the night of the incident. But why would anyone do this? Why this scroll? Hanging scroll, Misty Faye's image is obscured by gravy. The scroll shows a picture of Misty Faye, master of the Korean channeling technique. But why would anyone cover it in gravy? I can't make out what's drawn on this scroll at all. I'll never understand you Americans and your so-called artists. Artists? Yeah.
This door. When I was here 2 days ago, that weird lock wasn't on it.
Those chains. It's almost as if they're guarding something inside that cavern. I've never seen a lock quite like this before. I have. I've seen locks and chains just like this before. They look just like the ones that guard a person's secrets during a psyche lock. Wonder if this lock is guarding something too. Dark secrets in a dark cavern. What took you so long? Who is it now? I thought even you'd managed to get here faster than this. It's Godot! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, he's back! Oh my gosh! We have not seen him for this entire episode thus far, and now we've seen him. Oh yay!
I thought even you managed to get here faster than this, Mr. Trite. Prosecutor Godot! I didn't know you were here.
Prosecutor?
How come you didn't show up at the trial today? Ha! I could ask you the exact same question.
Huh?
But I had a cold, so I had something slightly more important than a common cold to deal with. The importance of which is something you have no hope of ever understanding.
Enough! I believe I have the measure of you. You are the very worst kind of prosecutor. What could be more important than a trial?
Who's the wild mirror, Trite? This is Miss Von Karma. She was the acting prosecutor in your absence today. Ha! Well, I guess I owe you one then. But you can go now, princess. It's time for the big boys to take the reins.
Just who do you think you are? This case is mine.
Hey, Philly. Know your role and shut your mouth. Can't stand women like you. Oh my... I'm only going to say this once. Lady Von Whippingberg. go home.
Phoenix Wright! What are you hitting me for?
You deserve more cracks to the whip than that, Trite. What? You still don't get it, do you? You don't realize that you've set something in motion that you'll never be able to undo.
There's something different about Godot today. I'm getting such a strong sense of something from behind that mask of his. Is it anger or is it sorrow?
You had some important business and that's why you weren't in court, huh? So what was it? I told you once before, but perhaps you don't remember. I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. You see, Trite, I have experienced something most have not. Death. You died? Of course. Being extracted from hell is a tedious affair. The meticulous regeneration and adjustments of all your internal organs is, well, let's just say modern medicine allows us to live to a ripe old age. Even someone like me. So you mean that mask you wear is this ugly device? I promise it's not a fashion statement, my unenlightened friend. Without this, I can't see your frequently dumbfounded face. I didn't know. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. Still, I keep this worn-out piece of junk of a body going with regular servicing.
I'm sorry, but you say you experienced death. How is that possible? What happened?
Why don't you ask him? Huh? Me? Yeah, Trite. You. You should know all about it. You know when my life ended, and who ended it for me.
Well, Phoenix Wright, do you?
I don't know what he's talking about.
Although, to be honest, I do feel a little tug at the corner of my memory. I think I do know about how Godot was killed.
It will all become clear in due time. Isn't that right, Trite? Earlier, you said I've done something I can never undo. What do you mean by that exactly? The inner temple here on this side of the Dusky Bridge is an isolated island.
That's what Sister Bikini said too.
And I wonder, Trite, do you know what the police are doing here today? What do you mean? They're searching for any trace of an occultist who went missing. Missing? As leader of the search party, I can tell you this with absolute certainty. Maya Fey is not on this side of Dusky Bridge.
Huh? But that's impossible! She came here that night and...
I won't say it again. The chances of her being here are nil. Excluding, of course, one very unique place.
One? Where is that?
The Sacred Cavern. The entrance of which we are standing at right now. This is the only place that the search party has yet to explore.
So they haven't searched the cavern yet, huh?
Be aware, though, that the temperature inside frequently falls below freezing. Even if she were in there, the chances of her being found alive are slim at best.
No!
Which means, Trite, that you sent Maya Fey to her death.
You fool! If that's the situation, why aren't you in there with a search party right now?
You must have blinders on, my equestrian angel. Don't you see the big lock and chains? It's a trick lock. I'm making preparations to open it as we speak. Well, Trite, once again, a woman dies because of you.
Once again? What are you talking about?
Don't tell me you've forgotten. It was only 2 years ago, after all, when the last unfortunate woman died because of you.
He's talking about Mia Fey, isn't he? Because of me?
And do you know who that was? It was Maya Fey's sister. That's right, Mia Fey.
Mia?
You killed her.
No, that's not how it was.
It was 2 years ago. Mia Fey was pursuing someone, a man, but she bit off more than she could chew. She made a very dangerous enemy.
Yeah, that's one case I'll never forget. But I got that guy, personally.
Sure, Miss Faye's murderer was caught, but that won't bring her back.
Well, no, but
You were with her at the time, you and no one else. It was your responsibility. You should have protected her. You say Mia Faye was your teacher. Well then, I say you've learned nothing, Trite. You robbed her of her life, and now you've let her sister suffer the same fate.
I haven't sentenced Maya to death. No. What is this peculiar looking lock? Why don't we just break it open? It would be a simple matter of...
I'm afraid we can't do that. This area has always been prone to earthquakes. The repeated tremors have weakened the foundation of the training hall. And any excessive force used to break the lock open would... Well, let's just say the inner temple and the sacred cavern would be a thing of the past.
Very well. Then I dare suggest the obvious solution of opening it with a key.
Ha! Sure, just show me where the keyhole is on this trick lock.
There's no keyhole.
That's right. An interesting puzzle, huh? The person who stepped this lock is the only one who can open it.
Then who was it?
Simple. The accused.
What? Iris?
When an occultist undergoes training inside the sacred cavern, the attending sister is responsible for locking the entrance. Obviously, the night of the murder was no exception. Maya Faye was to train in there.
Sister Bikini did mention it a number of times. Now that I think about it, she said that Iris was left in charge of supervising the early stages of the training.
So Iris, the accused, is the only one who can open this lock. I've arranged for her to be brought here now.
Iris is the only person who can open this lock? I hope she gets here soon. Hang in there, Maya. We'll get you out.
So, I should be getting back to work.
Wait, Godot! How sure about Maya are you?
There's no doubt in my mind. She's in the sacred cavern somewhere. It's the only place she could be. You better start praying. You better pray that friend of yours brings the accused back here soon.
Edgeworth.
Listen up, Trite. There's only one thing I want to say to you before I go. I'll never accept you. Never.
You should choose your friends more carefully, Phoenix Wright.
That's what everyone says.
Looks like I don't have much of a choice. I guess I'll just have to do what I can for now. Since when did Godot even cared about Maya or Mia? There has to be some connection between Mia and Godot that we're not... Well, actually, we do know some connection because Godot and Mia both knew each other when we were doing the 4th episode. So there must have been some sort of friendship that formed between these two at some point. Probably after that trial, but we'll see. I don't know. Should I or shouldn't I? Sounds like someone's talking to himself, but where's that coming from?
Yeah, I guess I better wash that off. That's what I'll do. No, but I can't do that. I'm a detective. Ugh, my brain! This is driving me nuts. Ah!
Is something troubling you, Scruffy?
Please don't whip me like that all of a sudden, sir.
It was merely a simple greeting. A friendly tap on the shoulder. With my whip.
So what's up, Gumshoe? Is something on your mind? How do you know, pal?
Perhaps you were trying to decide if you wanted to wash that off or not.
How did you know, sir? Oh, yeah, I nearly forgot. You can't go through that little gate there, okay?
You mean that one that says no entry on it?
I, kinda already snuck in there.
Is he trying to be clever or something? So what's behind there, Scruffy?
Huh? A kind of garden-like garden.
A garden?
Yeah, anyway, it's under investigation right now, so keep at it. I'm not telling you, I'm asking you, pal. You got me?
Isn't it normally the other way around?
Well, see you later.
So, shall we adjourn to this garden, Phoenix Wright? Of course, what else would we do? I really want to know what Gumshoe was thinking of washing off. Then let's follow them! Ooh. February 9th, Inner Temple Garden. There's a strange feeling in the air. I wonder what it is. Strange feeling? Forget about that. What's that strange writing on the stone lantern?
What are you doing here, sir?
Dang, we got caught!
What are you doing here, sir? I thought I said you can't come in here.
Don't you know, Scruffy? Avon Karma will always show up whenever there's a clue. And there are plenty of clues to be found here.
But... So how's the Inner Temple investigation going? We have the best forensic team in the world working the place.
Forensic team? And what was the outcome of this scientific study?
Nothing. Scientifically speaking, the place is as clean as a whistle.
That's simply not good enough, Scruffy. Do you think I'll let you get away with that?
Uh-oh. Well, there were a couple of things that bothered me when I first got here, sir.
That stone lantern and the surrounding area that's not covered in snow, correct?
They look kind of fishy to me, you know, scientifically speaking. So I got the lab boys to look them over. The results were... It's kind of hard to say, actually.
Guess I better look into them myself. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. I just got a call, so, just had to take care of that first. Alright, let's continue.
About Maya. Did Mr. Godot tell you yet?
Yes, we heard.
He's got a search party out looking for her. But there's nowhere else she could have disappeared to on this side of Dusky Bridge. All we can do is wait for Mr. Edgeworth to get here, pal.
Edgeworth?
He's escorting Iris, the defendant, over here.
We'll have to wait, since she is the only one who can open the door to the sacred cavern.
Oh, I think Mr. Edgeworth wants to talk to you about something too, pal.
Huh? I wonder what it is.
Just don't be expecting any good news when you talk to him. When I spoke to him, Mr. Edgeworth sounded so down. I felt like I was drowning.
Sounds pleasant.
There's a charm or something poking out from the snow.
It looks pretty old. There's a lever cord tied to it, too.
Apparently it belonged to the victim.
To Miss Elise Diaxium.
Yeah, there was a broken lever cord around the lady's neck. The ends of the cords found on both the victim and on this charm match exactly.
Sounds to me like this little trinket is going to be my ticket to getting some very big answers. Corain's Master's Talisman, worn by Elise Diaxium, found in the garden of the Inner Temple.
A little lantern, a little statue.
It is certainly a quaint little garden. Oh. What is this huge bowl here for?
Oh, I know this one. It's a water bowl, isn't it?
Everything else is completely frozen over. But the ice in this bowl has been broken.
That's true.
I wonder if this has any impact on the case.
Well, I doused my face earlier with the water in this. I was kind of getting sleepy. Ugh!
Next time you're sleepy, you need only come to me. Got it? Oh, dear.
There are a couple of torches here. I guess you need all the light you can get up here in the mountains. Yeah, I was looking at those things, pal. It looks like they've been lit pretty recently.
Recently? How recent are we talking about?
As recent as the night of the murder.
Maya was there. Maya was training here on the night of the murder. It's not unreasonable to think these things were lit up at the time, I guess.
Well, this is odd. There's no snow on the ground here, and it's an almost perfect rectangle. It couldn't have happened naturally.
Yes, it appears as though someone has carefully cleared away the snow. No doubt it was you, wasn't it, Scruffy?
Huh? No, it wasn't me, sir. It was already like that when my men and I got here to start the investigation.
If it wasn't the police, then who did it?
Oh yeah, there's something I need to tell you. Just between the three of us, okay?
What is it?
It's top secret. You can't tell anyone, got it?
Understood.
Well, when I was a kid, got knocked out of the local wrestling contest, you see. I was so disappointed I just picked up my mouth guard and cried all the way home. Man, I got in so much trouble when I left it on the couch.
Fun karma! Whip him! Is that it?
That's it?
Whoever cleared the snow away must have had a reason. Although I can't even begin to imagine what that reason could be. What the heck is that?
Uh-oh. You spotted it, huh, pal?
Are you kidding me? It couldn't be more obvious. It says Maya.
Yeah. Before you ask, it's written in blood.
You will answer all our questions now, Scruffy. Without exception.
Yes, sir.
Maya. So these letters are written in blood?
Yeah. What's worse is it's the victim's blood.
Huh? This is Miss Diaxium's blood.
We haven't done a detailed analysis yet, but it's looking that way, pal.
Most interesting. Phoenix Wright, I presume you know, don't you? Why Maya's name is written upside down?
You know what? That was really bothering me too. But I just came up with the answer. There was all my own special gumshoe investigation.
Really? Do tell.
Well, on the night of the murder, that stone lantern was upside down.
Ahem. Anyway, there's really only one logical explanation to this mystery. Miss Elise Diaxium wrote these letters herself. In her own blood.
You must be joking!
That's impossible.
From the writing in the victim's blood and the other clues left behind, it seems pretty likely that this garden was the scene of Miss Elise Diaxium's murder. At least that's our current theory on how the events took place, pal.
What? So Miss Diaxium was killed here?
However you want to look at it, that's what people are saying now.
Then, what Sister Bikini saw in that courtyard at the main temple was... Well, what was it? If that wasn't the scene of the crime, what did she see?
What do you think, Miss Von Karma?
Surely a special gumshoe investigation would reveal the answer, no?
But wait a sec. The bloody writing on and all the other clues here. Someone could have easily set all that up after the murder, right? Sorry, but that's not an option, pal. Why not?
How quickly you forget, Phoenix Wright. Ever since the incident occurred, this place has been completely inaccessible. Because Dusky Bridge was completely burned out.
I was overseeing repairs to the bridge the whole time. No one came over here before me and my men. Which means no one could have planted all this stuff here, pal.
I can't think of a counter-argument to that.
I knew it. I should have washed the blood off the lantern as soon as I got here.
This really was the scene of the crime, and I need to figure out exactly what it was that Bikini actually saw. Guess we'll find out soon about that. Okay. Where should we head to? Alright, let's head to Heavenly Hall, see if anybody's there. Nope, no one's there. The main gate? Oh, something's happening here, okay. February 9th, Hazakura Temple, main gate. It seems you have a visitor.
Mr. Wright!
Iris! I'm really glad to see you.
Godot managed to mobilize the police by claiming a state of emergency.
Not him again.
Never mind him. We've got to hurry and unlock the secret cavern.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. It's my fault someone so important to you is locked in there. Mr. Edgeworth, can we finish our conversation later?
Alright. Let's hurry to the inner temple then. I'll see you later, Wright.
Hold it! Wait, Edgeworth! I'm coming with you guys.
Sorry, Wright. I can't allow you to come with us.
What?
I hate to be the one to break it to you, but Maya Fey is in a rather delicate position.
What do you mean by a delicate position?
This isn't simply a rescue operation, right? It's also an investigation.
No. This cannot be, could it? Please don't tell me what I think this is going to be.
That being the case, we can't allow members of the public to interfere.
Come on, Edgeworth.
If anything happens, you'll be the first to know. Please understand, right?
But it's Maya.
Mr. Wright, all that matters is that Mystic Maya is rescued, correct?
Listen to the voice of reason for a change, Phoenix Wright.
From now on, consider anything beyond Dusky Bridge to be off limits. We'll be going now. Excuse us.
This is no time to be standing around, Phoenix Wright. Aren't there other things that demand your attention? She's right.
Thanks for reminding me.
February 9th, Hazakura Temple, main hall.
Sister Bikini looks like she's shrunk some since I last saw her.
Don't be so rude, Phoenix Wright. What's wrong, Sister Bikini? My. Hello, you two. How are you doing? From the sound of that sigh, I guess she's still pretty down. Iris was just here, you know. She was accompanied by that handsome crimson-clad prince. She talking about Edgeworth? It was just a courtesy call. I wasn't allowed to talk with her at all. Oh dear. It's all my fault that this has happened. Poor Iris. She was worried about my back. Would you believe? What have I done to her? Only what you had to do, sister. You bravely and truthfully testified about what you saw. There's no shame in that. And we'll see to it that your testimony wasn't made in vain. Well, I don't hear anyone else saying that. Mr. Blue Suits doesn't seem to share your opinion, I see.
Huh? Me? Ah! Oh, yes. You did great, Sister Bikini. absolutely spectacular! You two are the only ones who said that to me.
I can't shake that feeling that I just became a shill to a shrew. Do you have a problem, Phoenix Wright? Sure, she was brave to testify so truthfully like that, but I know she's still hiding something. Guess it's time to break those psyche locks of hers. Okay, so I guess we're finally gonna have to start breaking the locks. Let's save real quick and save here. Something bad has happened to Maya, and this is not good. But let's first break Miss Bikini's psyche locks and see if we can find out any information she might be hiding. Elise Diaxiom.
Sister Bikini, the truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. I'm convinced that Miss Elise Diaxiom had a special significance to this temple. As to why she had a special significance, I believe it has to do with her true identity.
What on earth are you talking about? She was... Mystic Elise was an author. Just an author of picture books.
To be honest, I had my suspicions almost immediately after I met her.
Suspicions?
Yes, but I didn't have any evidence to support my theory, though. But now I do. This piece of evidence proves Miss Diaxiom's true identity. Miss Diaxiom had this charm with her at all times.
Ah! Where did you...
This isn't some cheap good luck charm either.
Then... what do you think it is, Mr. Wright? What could a talisman like that possibly mean?
It's a talisman, is it? Interesting.
Oops.
This thing speaks value about who Miss Diaxiom really was. This talisman and one other item unequivocally prove Miss Diaxiom's true identity.
Okay, so, oh my goodness, we lost a lot of health. The talisman and one other item unequivocally proves Miss Diaxiom's true identity. Oh dear. Oh my gosh. Okay. Good thing I saved on both datas. Okay. So it wasn't the sphere, nor the staff, nor the, talisman again for the... Okay. So we know this was right. The charm. Oh my goodness. my goodness. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I have the evidence that's needed for this one. One other item. I don't get it. Am I sure I didn't miss an evidence piece? Because I'm not sure if I did. I'm not quite sure if I missed something. Oh, but I can't go back. So I have no choice. Okay. So that means I do have it, but I just don't know what it is. Other than the charm. This talisman and one other item unequivocally proves Miss Diaxiom's true identity. What other item could it be? Could it be this? Okay, no. That would be quite surprising if it was that one. The hanging scroll? Really? Why is that? Okay, let's just read and find out.
The painting is obscured by this gravy stain at the moment. But this scroll shows the master of the Korean channeling technique. The crest at the top is a sign of that honorable title. The very same crest that adorns the talisman the victim carried with her. Ah! This crest is reserved for the master of Korean.
Who on earth told you that nonsense? I've got no idea what you're talking about.
The new master, Maya Fey, told me.
What? What? You mean that occulty is Missy Fey's
Daughter? Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. In fact, since her eldest daughter passed away, Maya is Misty Fey's sole successor.
Misty! They all broke! What? All of the psyche logs broke. I guess I only had to use 2 pieces of evidence. Excuse me. Mystic Elise graced us with her presence about a week ago. When she showed me the talisman with that mark on it, well, I nearly fainted. No one had seen her since she disappeared 17 years ago, after all. What is the significance of this talisman, sister? The Korean talisman. It's the symbol of the Master of Korean. The bearer must carry it with them always until their death. Until their death?
So at least the axiom was really Maya's mother, huh?
She was Misty Faye, the master of Korean channeling technique. The truth comes out at last. Looks like we're making some headway here. Tell me, sister. After 17 years, why did she choose to show herself now? Because something happened that called her out of hiding.
What happened?
Well... What's happening? It can't be... Earthquake! Ah! Oh my goodness! The inner temple! This kind of tremor might... The inner temple! The secret cavern in the training hall! It might very well cave in!
What? Maya!
It seems to have passed.
But we can't just stand here and do nothing! Let's go!
What? Where?
To the inner temple, of course! Where else? Sister Bikini, we'll finish this later, alright?
Of course. You run along now. People may have been hurt. I must get some first aid kits already. Come on then, Phoenix Wright. They won't bar you from entering as long as I'm with you.
Thank you.
Right at the moment, I had the worst feeling in my gut. We just had an earthquake. I wonder if he's alright. You look worried. Are you thinking about Miles Edgeworth?
Come on, let's go.
Gotta hurry to the inner temple end.
Right! What are you doing here?
How could I have... How do you expect us to understand if you don't speak up?
Yow! Hey, why am I the one getting wet?
She's gone. No! The defendant, Iris. She's gone. Gone where?
She fled. She escaped.
What? She escaped?
So it was just now, during the...
It's easy to see Edgeworth's one and only weakness. His fear of earthquakes.
I should have known better than to escort the defendant alone. As soon as the ground started shaking, everything went dark before my eyes and I stupidly passed out.
That incident haunts you to this day, doesn't it?
That's no excuse for letting the suspect get away. I can't believe I let it happen. Right, the inner temple area is a dead end, so she could have only escaped to this side.
We haven't seen her.
Then we need to get a manhunt underway now and search Eagle Mountain from top to bottom.
Wait, Edgeworth, have you thoroughly checked the inner temple yet?
Don't be ridiculous. Why would I? The inner temple is like an island. There's no way to escape but to cross.
No, that's not it. Iris isn't the type of person to run away, Edgeworth.
What are you talking about?
Sister Bikini mentioned something when we were with her. She said that the sacred cavern might have caved in because of the quake.
Then you think Iris might have gone to the inner temple to check on the situation?
Listen, Edgeworth, I'm sure she's at the inner temple. A manhunt is not necessary.
Right.
Let's not waste any more time. We need to get to the training hall's secret cavern now.
Alright, let's go.
February 9th, Inner Temple Training Hall. Fortunately, the sacred cavern had caved in. But what we found was something none of us could have ever expected. Five of them? There are 5 Psyche locks now?
How can there be...
even more locks? What is the meaning of this?
Iris!
Iris, please tell me. What the hell's going on? To be continued. Ooh, we're not done with this yet. Oh my gosh, what is going on? February 9th, Inner Temple Training Hall.
Right. Is this what Godot was talking about?
Yeah, the trick locks.
Now then, Iris, please remove these at once.
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm afraid I can't. It's not possible for me.
What?
During the earthquake, when the cavern was in danger of caving in, Iris escaped. And I know that there was only one lock when I last came here. So you're saying that you can't undo the new locks?
Yes.
Only I was stronger. Edgeworth, how are you feeling? You look a little pale in the face.
Like you're one to talk with your face all green.
Miles Edgeworth, go and get some air. I'll watch over the suspect. You go and get a grip on yourself.
Don't be ridiculous, I'm perfectly fine.
There's no telling what sort of mistakes you could make in your current state. Go and get some rest. That's your only concern now, Miles Edgeworth.
Understood. I'll handle the investigation in the garden. You take care of things here.
Edgeworth.
He's got so much pride that he's probably off crying in the corner of the garden.
Pride is simply another trap that hinders us in our lives. That said, one must have pride to be effective on the job. At any rate, it seems that this is where we part ways, Phoenix Wright. I'm going to stay here and see if I can't help solve these bothersome puzzles.
I see. Well, thanks for your help. Now then, do you mind if I ask you a few things, Iris?
No, not at all.
Alright, so now we gotta talk to Iris.
Why did you make a run for it, Iris?
I'm sorry. I heard the inner temple had been severely shaken by the strong earthquake we had. I was so worried I just had to come and see.
In other words, you didn't run away to escape the law. At least we're clear on that.
I can't tell you how relieved I was when I saw the secret cavern was alright, but...
But what?
Then I saw these chains here. I saw all these extra locks that someone had put on the secret cavern's door and... Who in the world would do something like this? These trick locks are a secret treasure of the Korean tradition. There are hundreds of ways to set them. That's why only the person who set the lock can open it.
And you aren't the one who set these locks.
I don't think it's that simple, Francesca von Karma. When we were here the first time, there was only one lock. But now, somehow, there's 5 of them.
What does that mean?
It means that something wanted to secure the place even more. And they wanted to secure it before you got here, Iris. Presumptively because they wanted to make sure Maya couldn't get out. This means that Iris can only open one of these locks. The first one.
Yes, that's correct.
What? Iris, try to think, please. Isn't there any way around this?
Well, like I said, there are hundreds of different ways to set these locks. I suppose if I went through every combination with each one, I could remove them. But...
It will take time, won't it?
Yes, about a day if I had to guess.
A whole day? Well, that's better than leaving the locks in place. Will you do this for us?
Sure, I'll do whatever I can.
You've got to wait another day? Hang in there, Maya. You're going to have to call on your inner strength now.
You know what, Iris? There's still one thing I don't quite get.
And what might that be, Phoenix Wright?
I think it's obvious. Iris, on the night of the murder, where were you? Please, Iris, don't give me that look. You told us that you were in your room at Hazakura Temple at the time of the incident. But you were seen that same evening at the Inner Temple. Then, you were spotted at the scene of the crime in Hasakura Temple too.
Being spotted at both Hasakura Temple and the Inner Temple. It's as if you were...
Well, Iris, I think it's about time you told us the truth.
I knew it. There's something going on here that we don't know about. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to move to another area and gather evidence first before we can break her psychic locks. February 9th, Inner Temple Garden.
The cops are still combining the place. They look pretty nervous. I'd be nervous too. It's gotta be a tough job. Especially with someone giving you the evil eye the whole time. How could I have done that?
Wow, I can't believe it's still bothering him.
Edgeworth? Hey! Don't you dare run away!
What do you want, Wright?
What do I want?
If you come here to laugh at me, then get on with it. Go on, laugh away.
I was ready to hug it out with him, but he's just the same prideful Edgeworth.
You went back to the Criminal Affairs Department, right? You said you wanted to look into something concerning Iris.
Yes. And thanks to what I found, I was reminded of something terrible.
You guys are putting a lot of effort into the investigation of the garden here, huh?
There's a high chance this is the actual scene of the crime. That's why.
You mean because of the writing in blood and the talisman in the snow?
Exactly. As you know, those things couldn't have been planted here after the murder.
But surely, you don't suspect... Maya, do you?
We have to treat everyone as a suspect. Maya, as well as Iris. It's our job, right?
So, I guess you still haven't gotten over your fear of earthquakes.
No. Though thankfully, my nightmares have stopped. But still, if the ground gives even the slightest tremor, I find myself short of breath.
17 years ago, when we were little school kids at the same elementary school, Edgeworth found himself in the middle of a murder.
It all started with that big quake that hit the courthouse.
Yes, I was stuck in the elevator with my father, who was a defense attorney. We were deprived of oxygen and we passed out. That's when it happened. That single gunshot shattered my whole life. I lost everything that day, all because of that earthquake. My dreams, my family, and myself.
It's been more than 17 years now. And that case was finally resolved 2 years ago, right?
You think I don't know that? I was there, but it was such a shock I'd never imagined I could be so wrong about myself and my life. I'm sorry, Wright. There's nothing else I can say. Not after you chose to become a lawyer for my sake. And not after you saved me.
Edgeworth, you're stronger than you think, so no more of this self-pity, okay?
There was something that bothered me about her from the moment we met. I felt like I'd seen her somewhere before. No, wait. Not somewhere. I feel like I've seen her in court before.
So you went back to the Criminal Affairs Department to look for her file?
Yes. I checked over every case file I've ever worked on. And I was right. I had seen her face before. 6 years ago.
6 years ago?
It was my first appearance in the court. And as cases go, it was my worst nightmare.
So, who is she?
I'm sorry, Wright. I can't give that information away to a member of the general public.
What? Why not? It might be the crucial piece of the puzzle that solves this case.
The woman I knew was the daughter of a jewelry store owner. She had nothing to do with Iris and Hasakura Temple. And neither did the case. No, that woman is completely unrelated to this murder.
Unrelated?
Yes, I can say that with complete confidence.
You're wrong, Edgeworth. She's totally related to this case. I need to fill Edgeworth in. I need to explain the connection between Iris and the woman Edgeworth knew.
Apparently Iris was taken in by the sisters here at the temple when she was a child. However, we still don't know much about her past, so we're looking into it.
It reminds me, Edgeworth went back to the Criminal Affairs Department to look up some stuff on her. Should ask him what he's found.
He's something of a legend, I hear.
Don't say it like you don't know anything about him. Tell me what you know.
It's a bit strange, actually. If he really was anything special, I should have heard about him by now. I'm always well informed about the rookies coming into the prosecutor's office, you know.
Then you mean he isn't anything special?
You should already know the answer to that. Although, there is one other possibility.
What's that?
He could have come into the profession from a different channel.
What different channel?
There's more than one way to become a prosecutor, right? Perhaps he started off as a defense attorney, but decided it wasn't for him.
A defense attorney?
I didn't even know you could switch sides like that.
One of the biggest names in the world of law, as I'm sure you'll agree. For better or for worse, we were only destined to meet once in the courtroom.
I know, I read all about it.
It was the first time for the both of us. Two novices, head to head. I can still remember how downhearted I felt after that trial ended the way it did.
I wonder if Mia felt the same way too.
I suppose you've noticed that Maya's name is written on this lantern.
It's pretty hard to miss, you know.
It's written in Miss Axiom's blood. She was probably forced up against the lantern by the killer. Then with her back against the lantern, she wrote that name with her finger. That's why it's written upside down.
You think the victim wrote this herself?
Isn't that the obvious conclusion?
But why would she write Maya's name?
I don't think that's something I want to discuss with you.
These are torches of the naked flame variety. I guess you need all the light you can get up here in the mountains.
Accordingly to Detective Gumshoe, they were lit on the night of the murder.
Well, Maya was training up here, so there's nothing strange about that.
Except, apparently, they don't light these torches for training sessions.
Huh?
I heard that too much light is inconducive to spiritual training.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Why is this the only area with no snow?
Someone must have cleared it away. Whatever explanation is there. Of course, I played the what-if game as well. But when I asked our trusty bungler, Detective Gumshoe, he said it wasn't him.
I suppose Edgeworth has a point. Whoever cleared snow away must have had a reason to do so. I just can't imagine what the reason could be.
There's a charm or something poking out from the snow.
Looks pretty old. There's a lever cord tied to it too.
It belonged to the victim. We're sure of that now. It's going in the evidence room once the investigation is over, so hands off, Wright.
You don't need to tell me that.
Well, our dear friend Larry just tried to steal it when no one was looking.
Probably just wanted something to remember his esteemed teacher by.
A little lantern and a little statue. It's small, but the whole place is incredibly well kept.
There's just one thing that's troubling me. Everything else is covered in snow or frozen over. But the ice in this bowl has been broken by someone.
Maybe one of the detectives washed their faces in it or something.
Don't be ridiculous, Wright. No detective would be that careless at a crime scene.
He's really angry. I better not say it was Gumshoe or his salary's gonna pay. Oh my goodness. So I guess we can't get anything new for now from Edgeworth. Oh, something's happening here. February 9th, Inner Temple Gate. I'm finally getting to the bottom of this case. I can count on Iris to break those locks, so I should try to gather more clues. From Sister Bikini, Edgeworth, Gumshoe, and Pearls. Well... Oh, we gotta go here now. February 9th, Dusky Bridge.
It's weird that there's no one around all of a sudden. It sure gets quiet up here in the mountains when you're all on your own. Speaking of alone, I guess I should go check out the shack just down this path. Maybe I'll find Larry there, sulking again.
February 9th, Hasakura Temple main gate.
I wonder if Sister Bikini is back at the main hall yet. I haven't seen Gumshoe around for a while either. Maybe they're having a cup of tea together somewhere. I bet Gumshoe is Sister Bikini's type.
February 9th, Hasakura Temple main hall.
Looks like Sister Bikini is not here. She must be sorting things out after the quake. Must be hard on her with her bad back. There are a few things I really need to discuss with her. Guess I'll drop by again later and see if she's around.
February 9th, Hasakura Temple courtyard. Sounds like someone's happy. What tune is that they're humming?
No motive, no crime. No motive, no crime. Sing it with me. No motive, no crime.
Oh, Gumshoe is singing. And I'm just making him talk.
I remember when we used to search in the channeling room in Korean. Whoop! I love my job. Who cares if the clues I find are no good? That's not what investigating's all about. The investigator investigates for the love of investigating. It's a passion. Good cases we have, good cases we've lost along the way.
I would have never guessed that Gumshoe was into reggae.
Every case is gonna be alright. Airtight. Every case is gonna be airtight. Hey, pal.
Huh?
Who? Me? How long have you been there?
I just got here.
Oh, okay.
So what are you up to, detective?
I'm investigating, pal. I made a promise to Mr. Edgeworth. I promised I would find the real murder weapon.
The real murder weapon?
That barbed sword thing turned out to be a false lead, right? I'm giving it my best shot here, but I still haven't turned up any clues.
Easy.
I just found these weird scraps of paper. It looks like a letter or something. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with the case, though.
A letter? So how's the investigation going, Detective Gumshoe?
I don't know if I should be telling you, pal, but I guess it can't hurt. Looks like the murder took place in the Inner Temple Garden. And they're taking that bloody writing on the lantern pretty seriously back at HQ.
What? You mean...
I don't have the details, pal. All I know is if you don't find Maya down in that sacred cavern, we're gonna be faced with one ugly situation.
What kind of ugly situation are we looking at here?
You got me. I don't know. They're not my words, pal.
Then who said it?
Mr. Godot.
Godot? What did he mean by that? About that letter you found.
Don't remind me, pal. I'm busting a gut here trying to find the murder weapon. All I found is something burnt-up old letter.
Burnt-up old letter?
Yeah, it was in that incinerator right outside the Inner Temple.
The incinerator? I knew it. I knew I wasn't imagining it. There was snow on the incinerator when I first saw it. But after the incident, the snow had melted away, which means someone used the incinerator on the night of the murder.
What's up with you, pal? I've got it right here if you want to take a look.
Can I? Do you mind?
Sure, go nuts. I don't want it, pal. You can have it. It's all spirit mediums and masters and stuff. I bet it's got no relation to the case.
Spirit mediums? Burnt letter found by Gumshoe in the Inner Temple incinerator. It's got to be important if it mentions spirit mediums and masters. I better give it a good looking over and some serious thought.
Make sure you chuck it in the trash when you're done. Littering's a crime, pal.
So what do you know about the real murder weapon so far?
Well, it wasn't a Shishito that was found impaled in the victim's body. Mr. Edgeworth proved that in court today.
Yes, that's true.
In which case, it must have been another blade.
And that's why you're running around like a headless chicken looking for her now, huh?
Yeah, and man, is it tiring work. But let me tell you something, pal. I'm no chicken. We've got the feather of the 4 and 6 in our cap these days. We're using the department's secret weapon on this.
Secret weapon? What's this secret weapon of yours?
You want to know? You've got to think scientifically, okay?
Alright.
The murder weapon was a sword. Swords are, scientifically speaking, made of metal, right? Any questions so far?
No. I know what he's going to say, but I'll let him look smart.
So what's the perfect tool for the job? Ta-da! A metal detector!
Raise your hand if you didn't see this coming from a mile away.
Well, you want to give scientific investigation a go? Huh? Me? I've been using this thing for hours now. It gets pretty boring after a while. Why don't you give it a try?
I don't know. Should I help Detective Gumshoe out or not? Oh, great.
Come on, pal. It's good fun, I'm telling you.
Alright then. I guess I'll give it a go.
Like I said, this is the department's most advanced gadget. The absolute best. So sensitive, you could make it cry. So high-tech, you could skydive off it.
Oh, brother.
So now I'm going to tell you how to use it.
Oh, great. We gotta go. This is the final episode in Trials and Tribulations. You're telling us how to use it. I think we know how it works.
It's possible the real murder weapon is around here somewhere, right?
Sure, that's what we're trying to find out.
Right, so first, let's turn the detector on. That's the sound of the metal detector's signal bouncing off. Next, move the detector around and give this courtyard a good looky-see, pal. Don't worry, this will maybe let you know when you've hit on something metallic. When it happens, press the X button to give the area a good hard stare. This thing picks up metallic objects that are hidden from sight, too. Take a good look at anything and everything that seems suspicious. Okay, pal?
Just a pair of skis. Nothing useful for our case here.
I'm actually pretty good on skis, you know, pal. I just love to fly down the slopes with my coat fluttering in the wind.
Really? I had no idea. How good are you, then?
Well, I'm better on skis than I am on skates. But not as good as when I'm on a snowboard.
That's a pretty detailed answer.
Oh, but you know what I'm best at? Making mashed potatoes and gravy.
The guy's losing it. Must be the altitude. We better get back to the investigation. That's odd. This sled made of plastic.
It says bikini number 1 on the side.
Maybe there's something under it. Hey, what's this? A badge?
Aha! I've been hunting high and low for that.
It's yours, Detective.
That thing's priceless to a guy like me, pal. A cop can't be a cop without his badge. I'm sure glad I put that dime in there now.
How did you manage to drop your badge here of all places?
I know. I bet it happened this morning. I was playing around with the sled and...
Stop right there. I don't need to hear any more.
That Shido next to the golden statue wasn't the real murder weapon, pal.
Yeah, I know. I just thought I'd check it again anyway.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Do you know about that sword? It's supposed to represent the multiple branches that life can take, all ending as one.
Yes, I heard something about that.
You know what I think about sometimes? What kind of life I'd be leading had I not joined the homicide division.
You think about that kind of stuff, Detective?
Of course I do. I think about it a lot. Me as a traffic cop, me as a detention officer, me as the Blue Badger.
There's something to be said about the humor value of Gumshoe as the Blue Badger.
Look! A ladder!
That's a step ladder.
What's the difference? Looks like a normal ladder to me, pal.
Surely everyone knows the difference. I mean, they're pretty ordinary objects.
I've met plenty of guys like you, always picking on the smallest details. The vegetable store guy near my place does it all the time. He even corrects me when I ask for a head of lettuce. That's a cabbage, he says. I'm telling you, they're the exact same thing.
No, they're not. They're completely different.
You have to plant both of them firmly in the ground before they can grow, don't you? Listen, you gotta take a step back and look at the bigger picture sometimes. Otherwise, you can miss a really important clue. That's advice from a pro, pal.
The last person I need advice from is this guy in front of me. Oh, we got a trophy. Ladders versus step ladders. Wait, what? This is Miss Diaxium's staff, isn't it?
Scientifically speaking, they're usually made of wood.
But the detector is reacting to it.
Yeah, but however you look at it, the thing's made of wood, alright? I don't bother investigating anything useless. It looks like it might be metallic.
Isn't the whole point of a metal detector to find metal where you can't see it?
It's weird that this thing is causing a racket.
Here, let me take a look at it.
Hey! Hands off! Examining evidence is a job for the...
The top is coming off!
Look what you've done! You've damaged a really important piece of evidence!
It's a blade? Why would Miss Elysiaxium's staff have a blade?
That's a sword! Inside the staff!
Is this... Could it be...
the murder weapon?
I'd never have guessed there'd be a sword concealed in the victim's staff.
They call this kind of thing a sword cane, pal. This one's a real gem. The workmanship is really something else. Thank goodness it wasn't a cane sword, or else the victim would have stabbed her own foot.
I officially give up on trying to figure out how Gumshoe's mind works. If the real scene of the crime was in the inner temple garden, then why was the sword used to kill the victim found in the main hall courtyard?
Hey, Gumshoe, who knows about the hidden sword?
No one. Even the police didn't know about this until I discovered it just now.
Well, as they say, there's no team in Gumshoe.
It doesn't look like there are any traces of blood on it.
Then I guess this isn't the murder weapon, huh?
No. I'm sure someone just wiped it off after the murder.
Yeah, of course. This thing's definitely the murder weapon. Great job, pal.
It's about the same length as the Shido, too. This must be the murder weapon.
Okay, I'm gonna run over to the forensics.
There's gotta be some traces of blood left, even if most of it has been wiped off.
See you later, pal. Every case is gonna be airtight. Every case is gonna be airtight.
Wait up, detective!
Huh? What is it, pal? I'm a pretty busy guy right now, you know.
You're going to get that staff analyzed, right? Would you mind holding off for just a while?
Huh? What are you talking about, pal?
Please! Just until we find Maya.
Maya? What's this got to do with her?
I don't know, but I'm starting to get a really bad feeling in the pit of my stomach.
Oh, how so?
Look, Maya's trapped inside the sacred cavern right now, and... well, we don't even know if she's okay or not. The more evidence and testimony I hear, the more uneasy I feel.
You don't think... Maya's been
Please, detective! Just wait until we can get inside the sacred cavern.
You're looking kind of Viridian there. Okay, just stop it with that face, pal. One thing, though. This staff's secret trick. Let's keep it between you and me, alright? If it gets out that we knew about it and didn't say anything, we're finished.
I understand.
This is just a regular run-off-the-mill staff. You got it? Okay, now you can take good care of it, pal.
Thank you, detective.
Don't worry. She'll be fine.
Gumshoe.
You know, there's a place at the base of this mountain that has some really good pasta. How about I take you there when you find Maya, huh, pal?
Sure, thanks.
It has a sword hidden inside. No one knows this except me and Detective Gumshoe. Can't help but wonder, though. What was Elysiaxium doing with stuff like this in the first place? Maybe it's something we'll figure out soon. Okay. Let's go to the Heavenly Hall and see if we can find Larry. And I believe I'm going to be wrapping up this episode soon. So I'm just going to save before we continue on here. Okay, here we go.
Oh, Mr. Nick!
Pearls, what are you doing here?
Nothing. What about Mystic Maya? Is she alright?
Well, we don't know yet.
Oh, I see.
Hey, what do you think you're doing here, Nick? Larry, this is the loser shack, where losers get together to lose themselves.
This is the what?
Hey, we find comfort in each other's failures, okay? You got a problem with that?
Look, Mr. Nick. Mr. Ori sent a picture of me.
That's, great, Pearls.
going to gather firewood now. We'll be cooking some half-rotten potatoes over a miserable little campfire. So stay out of our way.
I don't believe this. Why can't he try getting fired up over becoming a better man?
No one believes a word I say anymore. Listen to me, Pearl. You don't want to trust this kind of guy, okay? He'll only let you down.
Oh, Mystic Maya.
Larry, is there something you want to tell me about this picture? I've got nothing to say to you, Nick. My life's here now, with Pearl. Two losers cooking potatoes together forevermore.
What am I going to do with him?
Alright then. What do you think about this picture, Pearls?
I think it's really well drawn. I can't draw at all, so I think it's really amazing.
See? Someone appreciates it. It's tough getting the flames to look like that, you know.
It's supposed to be Sister Iris flying through the air, isn't it? I love it. It's like a dream. A wonderful fantasy.
No, it wasn't a dream. She really flew. I'm telling you, Iris really flew that night.
But Mr. Oris...
Not you, too. Please don't look at me like that, Pearl. Don't look at me like I'm some kind of nutcase. I beg of you.
I guess this picture really is a representation of what Larry thinks he saw.
Okay, so I was half asleep when I was here that night. But I was wide awake after the lightning struck. And I saw what I saw. It was exactly like how I drew in the picture.
It looks like I don't have any choice but to take this sketch at face value.
Hey, what's with the look of doubt on your face? Pearls.
Yes, Mr. Nick?
I've been meaning to ask you about the night of the murder. Where were you? And what exactly were you doing when it all happened?
I was just, well, I'm just a kid, you know? I'm sure it doesn't really matter what I was doing, but this doesn't, Mr. Nick.
Sorry, Pearls, but yes, it does. On the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Miss Diaxiom's room reading a book together.
Yes, that was supposed to happen. But that didn't actually happen.
But Miss Diaxiom was murdered and you, Pearls, were at the Inner Temple. Just what exactly happened that night? Pearls?
I'm really sorry, Mr. Nick.
Oh, dear.
I've been a bad girl. That's why I'm being punished.
What are you talking about, Pearls?
And my spiritual power, it has disappeared.
What? Her powers have disappeared?
What do you mean your power has disappeared, Pearls?
It's all over for me. A spiritual medium who can't channel spirits is like a painter who can't paint.
Hey! What are you looking at me for? Pearls, did you try to channel someone's spirit right here at the Hazakura Temple? Tried but failed, perhaps. Way to go, Nick! You made her cry! That was really cruel of you! And now he's crying!
Just as I thought. I'm going to have to break her psyche locks to get the truth out of her. I think we might have evidence that might support it. I don't know. But let's give it a try.
Take that!
Let's see what we can do. The night of the crime.
After dinner on the night of the murder, you were supposed to be in Elise Axiom's room reading a book together, correct?
Yes! I was so happy when she invited me. But I didn't go in the end.
You didn't go?
No, there was somewhere else I had to go instead. I was so worried I had to go. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was so nervous.
So Pearls never went to Miss Diaxiom's room because she was too worried about something or someone else.
Pearls, on the night of the murder, you went to this place, didn't you? You went there, didn't you, Pearls?
Looks like she's still not going to open up to me.
This is where you went because you were so worried, right? The next question is, who or what were you so worried about? Now I'm going to take a guess, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, okay?
No.
If I'm right, will you tell me the whole truth?
Okay.
You went to this place for one very simple reason, and that is this. It's obvious what you were so worried about, Pearls. It was Maya, wasn't it? You knew the training Maya was undertaking was dangerous. After all, it was the special course.
I signed up for your special course.
Well, my. Quite brave of you considering how cold it is. Young people can be so reckless with their health. Don't blame me if you become one with those you channel.
Sister Bikini scared you with what she said, didn't she? And because it was you who introduced Hasakura Temple to Maya in the first place, you felt responsible, didn't you?
Thinking about what could happen to Mystic Maya made me more and more worried. I couldn't sit still at all. That's why I decided to go and find out how she was doing at the Inner Temple.
Then we're clear now that you went to the Inner Temple that night, Pearls. What's not clear is what happened after that. About what time was it when you headed over to the Inner Temple?
It was probably around 9:30 when I left the main hall. I heard the real training was supposed to start at 10. I wanted to get there before it started, but there was so much snow, so I didn't get there until after 10 o'clock.
Until after 10? How'd you know what time it was?
Because I heard the bell ringing for lights out.
She heard the lights out bell.
Hasakura Temple bell's pretty small, though, isn't it? You must have really good hearing.
I was trying to pick up the sound of that bell, that's all. I didn't want to miss it. That would be terrible.
She was trying to hear the bell.
Tell me, Pearls, why were you so worried about hearing that bell?
Huh? Oh,
I think I know why. The reason you were worried, that you were so worried about that bell was because of this.
I'm not sure if we have it. We might need to get more evidence, possibly. What was actually written here? As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Leave everything up to her.
You were given some instructions to follow for that night, weren't you? I presume you recognize these pieces of paper.
Where did you...
In the incinerator at the Inner Temple. Pearls, you were following the instruction in this letter that night, weren't you? That's why you couldn't afford to miss the sound of the lights out bell.
I'm speechless, Mr. Nick. You're amazing.
These instructions that were found in the incinerator, I believe they were written for you, Pearls.
For me? No.
As you can see, a large portion has been burnt, but the last section is still fairly legible. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Who was it, Pearls? Whose spirit were you supposed to be channeling?
Taking into account the offer of the note and their purpose for writing it, whose spirit would Pearls have been trying to channel? Don't overthink it, Phoenix. It's pretty obvious who Pearls was supposed to channel.
The person you were trying to channel that night. Pearls was...
Okay, so it wasn't... This was just in case. Okay, it had to be Elise. No? Okay, so it wasn't Elise. The person you were trying to channel was... Mia? Nope, it wasn't Mia. Okay. Alright, so we do know a couple things. So it wasn't Elise, and it wasn't Mia. Let's take a look around some more and see if we can find anything that could pinpoint something. Wait, what if it was Maya that was actually the one? I mean, it could be. Let's go back and see if that is the case. Okay. Alright. So let's try this again. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we know it was the inner temple. That we know so far from that. And we know it was Maya. So we do know that part for certain. And then in a surprise turn, it was the burnt letter. So we know that. But who could the person be? Okay, it wasn't Maya. Okay, so let's see. What about Iris? Nope, it wasn't Iris either. Okay, so we might not know who the person is yet, because there could be another person, probably. I'm not quite sure. Let's just keep looking a little bit for evidence. But like I said, I'm gonna... Since this investigation is going on for another part, I will have to split this into a two-part.
Look at this graffiti scrawled right on the front of the shack. At least he managed to get a pretty good likeness. When I really think about it, I guess art kind of suits him. I mean, his very existence is an art of sorts.
Okay, so nothing else will be said. Okay, I guess we still have to keep looking for stuff.
There's something strange about this incinerator. I'm sure there was no one on it the first time I saw it. That and the door's open. Someone's been burning something, that's for sure. It's a shame there isn't a trace of what it was left inside. Guess it must have snapped during the fire. On the other side of the little gate is the garden. Edward's probably still in there, crying softly to himself. I guess we better hug it out and talk about what he's uncovered so far.
Be careful. One Night Falls should be there. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Leave everything up to her. Her name is blank. She is our blank, the whole blank. Here's a picture of her. Use it when you channel her. I know you can do it. Once it says, burn the blank. Also make blank. Tell anyone about this letter blank. Gravely roast the master in the blank fires of Hades and bring our blank vengeance to fruition. What could that mean? What could this mean, though?
This door. When I was here earlier, there was only one lock, but now there's 5 of them.
Those chains. It's almost as if they're guarding something inside that cavern. I've never seen locks quite like these before. I've seen locks and chains just like these before. They look just like the ones that guard a person's secrets during a psyche lock. I wonder if these locks are guarding something too. Dark secrets in a dark cavern. The scroll shows the picture of Misty Faye, master of the crane channeling technique. But why would anyone cover it in gravy? I can't make out... Oh, okay, they're gonna probably say the same thing. I wonder if we have to retrace our steps. We might have to. Oh, whoopsies, I went to the wrong place. Okay, main gates, and then main hall. Oh, okay, we gotta go talk to her. February 9th, Hasakura Temple, main hall. Well, what's the damage? How is the sacred gate, cavern?
It looks like it survived, but we have a bigger problem now.
I told Sister Bikini all about it. About the 5 locks that were stopping us from getting inside the sacred cavern. But who? Who could have done that? The only people who know how to set those trick locks are those of the Korean tradition.
We have Iris at the sacred cavern trying her best to open them for us right now. Actually, there's something I've been meaning to talk with you about, Sister Bikini.
Oh, yes. We were in the middle of a chat, weren't we?
Yes. You were telling me how the Master of Korean disappeared 17 years ago. I want to know why Misty Face suddenly appeared at this temple.
It was about a week ago, when Mystic Elise... No, I mean Mystic Missy arrived. After she showed me the talisman that proved she was the Master, she said... Someone is trying to destroy the Korean tradition's main family line. I am here to put a stop to them.
Someone was trying to destroy the main family line?
There is only one heir to the title of Master at any time, and it's usually the eldest. The child becomes the new Master of Korean, and her daughters the main family. All of her mediums become branch family members with no hope of controlling the clan. That's why nothing has changed throughout the history of the clan. Branch families always have and always will plot to erase those of the main family line. Is the power of the Master worth this much bloodshed? You believe in the technique, didn't you, Mr. Wright? You know its power is real.
Yes, I do.
It's been 2 years since I first met Maya. In that time, I've seen her channel the spirits of the dead plenty of times. During the Damaski case, and during Maggie Byrett's trial, too. Thanks to Maya, Mia's always on hand to help me out when I need her the most. The Korean technique has made a huge difference to the world, you know. I mean, the ability to commune with the dead. That's true psychic powers, you know. Members of the traditional have always been there, behind every important leader. Who wouldn't respect such a tremendous skill?
I suppose so, but with all that power and influence, I kind of expected you to be really rich by now.
Are you saying we're poor, Mr. Wright? You're very direct, aren't you? People don't believe in it anymore, you see. All because of one little mistake.
A mistake? What mistake?
It was 17 years ago. That's when everything came crashing down. All because of that incident. That incident? Is she talking about what I think she is? I'm sure the record still exists if you're interested. Locked up, of course. It was called the DL6 incident. That's the name of the file.
The DL6 incident?
I knew it.
The DL6 incident? I know it well. I handled a related case just 2 years ago.
That's right. So it was you who was the defense attorney on that case. A murder that took place 17 years ago. It was the first time in the country's history that police ever used a spirit medium. The idea was to channel the victim's spirit to learn the identity of the murderer. And the medium who performed the channeling was Misty Faye, Maya's mother. Though Mystic Misty's channeling the name of a certain man surfaced, armed with that as evidence, the investigators were spurred into action.
But that man, he was found not guilty, wasn't he?
That's right. He was. And the case remained a mystery. In other words, we failed. It was the first case the world had ever seen the Korean tradition openly involved in. It was all over the media, the public, the judicacy, the people of Korean Village. Everyone judged her. Everyone said Mystic Misty's powers were a sham. And then she just disappeared, vanished while everyone still thought of her as a fraud.
But I know the truth. Misty Faye's spirit channeling wasn't a sham at all.
Of course it wasn't. And since you managed to reveal the truth, we're finally making a comeback. The Korean tradition is starting to recover at last. But with a new master wielding the power of the clan. Does she mean Maya? The spiritual power of the Korean channeling technique is in the blood. Maya told me the exact same thing before.
We, the women of the Fae clan, have always been spirit mediums. It's because the power to communicate with spirits flows strongly through us.
According to Maya, only the women in the family can inherit that power. The main family's bloodline stems directly from Mystic Amy. But with each new generation, only one daughter becomes the new master.
And the ones who don't become branch families, right?
That's right. And it's always the cause of tragedy.
You know, Maya had a sister too. An older sister named Mia.
Oh yes, I've heard of her.
What? You know about Mia?
Of course. She became a lawyer in the hopes of discovering what happened to her mother. And lost her life as a result. Do you know what Mystic Mia is rumored to have said? She said it wasn't only because of her mother that she became a lawyer. She also didn't want to fight with her sister over the leadership of the tradition.
Really?
Well, she saw what happened to her own mother, Mystic Misty, and she grew up. I guess Mystic Mia got tired of seeing all the rivalry between her mom and her aunt. That's right, Misty Faye had an elder sister too. And Misty, having superior powers, managed to usurp the master's seat from her. Mystic Misty's sister is Mystic Morgan, as you probably know.
Morgan? There's a name I know well. It was a year ago now, at Maya's home, Korean Village. What she did was terrible. It was all she could make her own daughter the next master.
I suppose if you know about Mystic Morgan's daughter, then you must have already realized that Iris.
Huh? Iris?
What's Iris got to do with any of this? That Iris is Mystic Morgan's daughter.
What? Iris is what?
Is she kidding me? Iris is Morgan Faye's daughter?
Did you just say that Iris is Morgan Faye's daughter?
Oops! I thought you already knew. It sounded like you met one of Mystic Morgan's daughters already.
I have. I know her very well.
Oh?
Yes, Pearl Faye. But I always thought she was an only child.
You jest! That child! She's Mystic Morgan's! I had no idea. Mystic Morgan. But she's in prison now, isn't she?
Yes, ever since she was found to be a co-conspirator in a murder case last year. was all done to set Pearls up as the next master.
I see. So I've been wrong all this time. Mystic Morgan had 3 daughters, not 2.
Wait, what? 3?
Yes, Iris, her twin sister, and Mystic Pearl.
What? Twin sister?
Oh, didn't you know? It all happened 20 years ago. After the clan leadership was taken from her by her sister, Mystic Morgan's life crumbled. It wasn't many years later that Korean's reputation hit an all-time low, when Mystic Morgan's husband realized his wife would never become the master. He left her in the village, taking their twin daughters with him.
How awful.
He was a jeweler, you know. In the end, he remarried, and that's when it happened. He decided to give one of his girls up, to be looked after by us here at the temple. That was Iris, you see. It's unbelievable. If Iris is a twin sister... Could it be?
Could you tell me one more thing, Sister Bikini? What was the name of Iris' sister?
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I just can't remember. All I can recall is that her father was a jeweler. Well, that's a clue, I guess. A jeweler.
Thank you very much. You've helped clear up a lot of details. Pearls had 2 older sisters, huh?
Yes, that's right. No doubt it was all because of Mystic Morgan's anger towards the main family.
Anger? What do you mean?
Her twin daughters were taken from her by her jeweler husband. But even that couldn't destroy her dream that a child of hers would one day lead the clan. That's why she had pearls. It seems that the incident here was a result of Mystic Morgan's anger. It was able to break free of the bars that confined her. So Iris is a twin sister. The plot thickens. But this information will be useless unless I can flesh it out a bit. I need to ask more questions and get some more info. Okay, so we gotta get some more information. Maybe we can talk with Edgeworth.
Hey, Edgeworth, do you know that Iris had a twin sister?
What? A twin? You can't be serious.
Sister Bikini told me, but the problem is she didn't know the name of his twin.
There was nothing about Iris having a sister in the files. I checked.
Well, Iris was taken in by the temple when she was really young. Apparently her sister was raised by her father, a jeweler, I think.
A jeweler? Right. I just might know who this twin sister of hers is.
I had a feeling you'd say that. Let me guess. Her name is Dahlia Hartthorn, right?
Yes, exactly.
Please tell me what you know about her, Edgeworth. Please.
It was my first court case, 6 years ago. I was a greenhorn, and due to my inexperience, the defendant died.
You're talking about Terry Follies, right?
You know about that case?
You're not the only one who noticed something about Iris and Dahlia Hartthorn. I checked one of Mia's old files from 6 years ago.
Yes, Dahlia was a key witness in that case. Dahlia and Terry Follies conspired together to stage a fake kidnapping 11 years ago. They stole a jewel worth $2 million from Dahlia's father, a jeweler. And 5 years after that, she murdered her own sister, Valerie Hartthorn, to keep her from talking.
Her sister?
Well, her stepsister, actually. They weren't blood related. Valerie was the only daughter of Dahlia's father's second wife.
Oh. And this is when she entered my life. The woman who tried to kill me.
So after Cherry Follies died, what happened to Dahlia? Did you check that out?
Does it really matter? Like I said, Dahlia isn't connected with this case.
Why are you so sure about that?
It's simple. Dahlia Hartford is dead.
What?
Well, her metabolic process are a matter of interest, only to historians, so to speak.
What do you mean by Dahlia Hartford is dead, Edgeworth?
Right. I must confess that in reading her file, I came to know of the murder case you were involved in during your college years. Dahlia Hartford was found guilty, thanks to the persistence of Mia Fey.
Mia Fey! Mia Fey!
At the time, Dahlia, it's like she was possessed by a demon or something.
It's been almost 5 years since that guilty verdict was handed down, and her sentence was finally carried out. She was executed last month.
Executed?
I'm sure it's a bit of a shock for you, right? And for more reasons than one. But do you understand now? She can't possibly be connected with this case. She's dead, and once someone is dead, there is no way to revive them.
There's no way to revive the dead. I wonder.
It seems you're not aware of the one of her connection yet, Edgeworth.
And what is that?
It's about Iris and Dahlia Hartford's mother.
What's their mother got to do with any of this?
She's Morgan Fey, a spirit medium from a branch family of the Korean channeling technique.
Did you say Korean channeling technique?
Do you know something about it?
Oh yes, I know it's connected with that fraudulent spirit medium.
Fraudulent?
I was involved in another nightmare 17 years ago. I was caught up in the middle of a murder investigation. The police didn't have any leads. They were stumped, and that's when they called her in. She was a very famous spirit medium and the master of her channeling school. But you know what happened? As a result of her efforts, an innocent man was accused of murder. She and her powers, they were all fraudulent. Edgeworth, go to the police records room. It's all in there. All you have to do is check the DLC 6 incident case file and you'll know.
Of course. How could I forget? Edgeworth was the victim in that case.
Edgeworth, you'll understand someday. And then, you'll see that the Korean channeling technique is real.
So it looks like that's all the information we're going to be getting for now. And I think this is going to be the perfect time for me to wrap up this episode because it is starting to get really late. So, yeah. Okay, so the first half of this investigation is over with. So we've got a bit of information, and it looks like Dahlia Hartford is Iris's twin sister and Pearl's sister as well. So now we know that Morgan Fey's daughters are somehow involved with this. And it's all coming back to that DL6 incident, which I don't get why it has some connections, but I guess we're going to find out in the next episode. Man, I thought that this investigation was going to go pretty smoothly, but now we've had more questions. Okay, so what we know so far is that Dahlia and Iris are actually twins. They're not one and the same. So they're actually twin sisters. But unbeknownst to them that Dahlia and Iris are related. And Dahlia Hartford, according to what Miles Edgeworth said, is dead, and she was executed last month. And basically, something is not right here. I don't know what it is, but Iris might not be the culprit. What if the culprit... I'm just kind of throwing this out there. What if Iris was possessed by a demon? Like, I'm not not quite sure why I'm kind of guessing that, but I mean, I'm not quite sure. This is just sort of a hunch. Because if I'm kind of adding the pieces together from Larry's drawing all the way up until about Iris being in two places in one, when you look at it, there's a possibility that if it is true that Dahlia is dead, according to what Miles Edgeworth's saying, then maybe Dahlia's spirit must have entered inside Iris's body to commit the crime to kill Elise the Axiom, who was the victim of this case, and whose real name is Misty Faye. And while this, I just don't know. This is just something I'm kind of speculating. I'm not sure if I'm right, but if we continue on with the investigation in the next episode, then we should have, hopefully, a bit of clues that can really help us get through this case. But anyway, guys, wow. Godot is being even more mean to Phoenix than ever before. Can we just talk about that for a second before we wrap this up? What is Godot's deal? I mean, why is he blaming Phoenix for Mia's death? It wasn't his fault. How was he supposed to know that Mia was going to be killed? I mean, yes, we may have solved Mia's murder back in episode 2 of the first game, but why does Godot have this grudge against Phoenix? This doesn't make any sense. Sure, Godot's real name is Diego. We all know that Diego and Mia had a great bond with each other as friends. Probably. Like with the bond, probably because of, well, friends and partners, basically, for that one trial. But, I'm not quite sure why Godot is so mean to Phoenix. I guess we'll soon find out once we get into the trial and the investigation again. And maybe we might actually find Godot there. Maybe the DL6 incident has to be related to Misty Faye's death, who also goes by the name Elise the Axiom. That's what Miss Bikini said. That's what I'm going with. So, we got through the first half of the investigation, but we still got another half to go. We also still need to break Pearl's and Iris's psyche locks in order to get down to the bottom of what's going on. Like, why was Pearl's at the inner temple? And where was Iris during the time of the murder, really? Those are the key questions. And can we be able to break the 5 psyche locks that are blocking the sacred cavern? My goodness. This is not going to be looking good, but the next episode we'll probably find out more information. And as much as I do want to continue with this, I believe this is the perfect time to wrap up this episode. So I believe this is the perfect time to wrap things up because I do have to go back to work tomorrow anyway. So I think this is the perfect time to wrap this up. So guys, that is going to be it for part 44 of my Let's Play of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this episode as much as I have. And in the next episode, we are going to be doing the second half of the investigation and see if we can find more evidence that not only relates to the murder of Misty Faye, also known as Elise the Axiom, but also find out of what happened, of what's going on here with, and how Dahlia was... I'm not quite sure. Like I said, in the next episode, we'll look into the details again from the DL6 incident, according to Miles Edgeworth, because we'll find out more details about that. We'll also continue on with the investigation, and we'll also break both Pearl's and Iris's psyche locks and find out what they are both hiding that could help us in the case. So you guys do not want to miss what's going to happen on the next part of my Let's Play of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. And I guess that's all for me. So until next time, this is Xenonite XC6. Hope you guys have a great night. I will see you guys in part 45 of my Let's Play of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, where we will be continuing on with the investigation. And I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, farewell, and have a good night.